Talk a lot of shit and yet you don't know. Fire on the way, make you all say, whoa. The people up top and the people down low. Get down, and I'm running it like that. The front of the attack is exactly where I'm at. Somewhere in between the kick and the hi-hat, the pen and the contract.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the World Cyber Games Grand Finals, Wuhan, China. I'm Clutch, and joining me is Rambo, and this game we're about to cast is World of Tanks, one of the up-and-coming games in the world of esports. It's a promotional title here at the World Cyber Games. So the two teams that'll battle it out in this match will be Odem Mortis from Germany and SBP Zawisza from Poland. You see the two teams on stage getting ready, waiting for the crowd here. They've been enjoying a lot of different games here at the WCG. And looking forward to see these two powerhouses out of Europe face it off in the World of Tanks matchup.
Yeah, and these two countries are known for being really good at FPS style type of games. World of Tanks, it's not particularly an FPS, but it's the same movement. You know, it's got the forward, left, right, and the zooming and shooting. So it's going to be a very interesting match. And this is the first major tournament that World of Tanks has ever been featured at. So, you know, what people that play World of Tanks right now, you know, they've got these strategies that they have when they play at home, but now this is where you bring out your big guns. This is where all your top strategies come out, your compilations and tank choices here with the 42 tier points that you're allowed. And so it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I mean, these two teams really are going to bring out their best stuff. So it's going to be a great match.
Breaking down what's at stake for this tournament this weekend, $28,000 goes to first place. $14,000 is second place and $7,000 for third place. Now, World of Tanks is a free-to-play, considered an MMO type game, but it's more of a battle arena. And a lot of people are really starting to play this game from all over the world. And this is, like you said, Rambo, a great opportunity for people to see these professional teams out of Europe and around the world compete in an international expedition, an international, almost Olympic type event. And there we see Odem Mortis from Germany getting all their settings ready to go. Communication's important in any kind of team game.
Yes.
When it comes to first-person shooters, you want to coordinate where you're going to position yourselves. If it's a search and destroy type map, you have to coordinate, okay, who has the bomb, who's going to place the bomb, who's going down this way, who's got a defusal kit. I mean, all those things are important. World of Tanks, you need to communicate with your team what route you're going to take. What do you spot? Where do you want your artillery to fire? And using that squad-based tactics, those flanking maneuvers is how you get the one-up on your opponent. And I'm sure it's what we're going to see here today.
Yeah, like you mentioned, communication is absolutely crucial because at the beginning of the map, the round starts, everyone's in the dark. So what has to happen is the team has to send out these light scout units out to kind of figure out where the enemy locations are. And I'm sure these teams have every spot on every nook and corner named on this map, so they know exactly where to tell their teammates the enemy location, because the heavier tanks, their movement is so slow. Once you locate where they are, it's going to be hard for them to reposition. So yeah, absolutely, communication is important here, and it's really loud. So I think you know, they've got their mic volumes cranked up as loud as they can. So
yeah, I'm sure when it comes down to being in that in-pressure moment, they're able to almost feel what each player is going to do. You know, it's kind of beyond words. It's that sixth sense, that gamer sense. You guys just saw on camera the other team from Poland, SBP Zawisza, and as they get all their settings ready to go here on the beautiful stage.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
The World Cyber Games here. And we got some people in the crowd. Now, there's different stages here at the World Cyber Games. You have the main stage, which is actually over in a different hall. And then this stage, which is considered the D stage because we're in D hall. And it features a lot of different games. You see the different booths there for one-on-one type games and then the team games with the 7 players, 7 computers at the booths. And we also have individual booths for individual games that are here as well, games showing off to a lot of the people that attended this as spectators, you know, free swag or things they can give away or to showcase the game at an in-depth level.
So right now the teams and the players here, they're warming up, they're making sure all their configs are set. all their voice volumes and ventricular mumble are set. So once it's live, it started the game. There's no time to reconfigure everything. So this moment right now, it's absolutely crucial because the faster they can set up and get everything ready, the faster they can get on page on what they're going to do, perhaps last-minute strategy, confirmations amongst the team and stuff. So,
yep. Most teams, pretty much all teams, when it comes to the professional level, each of the team members has a certain delegation, a certain responsibility, a certain role they fill in their team. I mean, you have your light tank, you have your scout, you have your artillery guy, you have your heavies, you have your mediums. And coming into this competition, knowing what your role is, and that people count on you for fulfilling that role, makes it easier to work as a team. If everybody is trying to do the same thing at once or trying to fulfill the same role at once, it doesn't work. I mean, honestly, it can't work at all because each of these specific tanks are very important on the battlefield. And what's so cool about World of Tanks is it has that historical background, that historical layer, that these are real tanks that were really used in World War II.
WCG 世界总决赛服火爆开启，12月1日13点登录 ld.newtv.cn， 先到50级 WCG 世界总决赛选手战袍双手奉上，冲破60级 WCG 专属座椅限量送出，奖品丰富，静待归属，一切尽在 l.newtv.cn。
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, World of Tanks at the World Cyber Games 2012 Game Festival. Odem Mortis from Germany versus SBP Zawisza from Poland.
Here we go. It appears to be live, or almost live. It's got the teams here still setting up. Does look like it's live here.
I think it's live. I think they started it up. Now we're watching Capo from the Polish team. Zawisza here on the railroad tracks. It's important to know your map and to know the movement of the enemy. They see some other of the heavies moving across from them, trying to get some shots from far away. Henzik taking a little bit of damage there. Capo himself taking another shot.
It's interesting. They're lining up in the same crossfire, so they're able to shoot at the same location, and they're lined up here.
It's an important tactic to use if you have your teammate kind of absorb the fire that is incoming, and you can switch back and forth. You do have that double fire. Andrew HOLB moving to the other side of the map here. Crazy catch. This light tank moving very fast across the map.
Obviously, hiding your location is important, so oftentimes you'll see these heavy tanks hiding in trees, behind rocks for cover, just kind of figuring out where the enemies are and then moving into location, possibly getting more aggressive. So it looks like we have a flank here. Oh, getting a nice shot on the rear tank here, doing a lot of damage. He's not getting too greedy, taking one shot. He saw two there, so he quickly backed up.
It's very important to not get too greedy in this game. He's lining up for another shot. He takes a shot himself from the Odem Mortis player here. Andrew staying far back behind this house. He knows his enemy is coming and wants to get a good shot on him. However, Thaden is coming right through the house, shoots straight at each other. He took a lot of damage in that shot. If Thaden gets another shot on him, he's probably going to destroy this tank.
Oh, he's trying to turn the corner and makes it just in time.
Thaden Howard's going to go through the houses himself, try to get another shot, but it looks like he's going to be able to escape. Craig Tech and Parafianen trying to get the capture here. And it looks like they do. They're able to capture the enemy base. And victory goes to the team that captured the enemy base here.
Yeah,
a little bit of surprising sometimes to see that this isn't just a deathmatch type game or team deathmatch. You do have the tactic of capturing your enemy base.
Yeah, a little misstep there. Anytime the opponent team is capturing, if you damage any members in that capture zone, it resets the capture. So a miscommunication there. They should have had someone guarding that area. Maybe they were too aggressive, too far away to get back and defend their capture zones there. So.
And people say light tanks are useless. Sometimes, no, they're not, guys. Having that speed and that versatility allows you to get behind the enemy forces. And if you can scout, like, hey, most of the heavies are in the middle. They're next to the railroad, guys. Let's get the enemy base. And the victory does go to the Polish team, SBP Zawisza. And that map was Ensk. And I believe the next map that we will start here is going to be Hemseldorf.
And the teams right now, they're talking about what kind of tanks they want. Again, they get 42 tier points to choose from. So any of the 7 tanks adding up to 42. So right now they're kind of just figuring out what they want to do, what's going to work. It obviously comes down to what map it is as well, on what kind of tanks they're going to pick.
I believe the next map will be Steppes. Either Steppes or Hemseldorf. Steppes, hills and valleys and flat lands. Not much cityscape to take refuge in, as we saw in that last battle, just plowing through these buildings. Lining up shots in World of Tanks is half the battle. And people have to realize that if you don't move, sometimes you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do move and you have a great shot, you can totally miss.
Yeah, and it affects your aim as well. And then just knowing the depth, because the projectiles here, it's not like a bullet where it'll go straight forever. There's like an up and down factor. So you've got to factor in all those things, where you're at, what's vulnerable in your position. You're also where the opponents are. So the physics are realistic. Also matching up to what kind of tank you have as well.
The Coriolis effect is what they call when, especially with snipers, when they fire projectile bullets, and it's even the curvature of the Earth can affect the scale of the bullet, and of course gravity and wind.
Uh-huh.
But that's why you have to lead your target sometimes. Don't have to lead as much with heavy artillery or even ballistic shells from tanks, but you do need to lead a little bit if your opponent is far away. Now the referee talking to the Polish team here, I guess trying to confirm the tank selection.
Yeah, both teams have to enter to the referee what compilation of tanks they're going to use before the match actually begins. So they're just confirming that, and then once that's set, we'll get into our second map here. And
Great thing about... Oh, go ahead.
This is round robin, so these teams all the teams in each group will play each other once, and the winning team will get 3 points, the losing team will get 0. And it's absolutely crucial that they get as many wins as possible, so in the next knockout stage, they get a higher seeding. So essentially, you'll play a worse team, in the next round. So all these matches, all these rounds, even though they're not knockout elimination style, it's still really important that you get all these rounds.
A victory in the round robin scores 3 points. If it's a tie, it's 1 point for each team, and the loser gets 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the points are tallied. And then moving into the brackets, the top team and then the runner-up of each of the groups will be placed into the brackets. Every match is important. Every match counts. Every tank counts. Every composition counts, as the referee confirms with SBP Zawisza. Odem Mortis, I wonder what they're talking about right now. I wonder if they were too focused on the engagements, too focused on chasing down their enemy and not knowing exactly where all of their enemy was. I mean, you're so focused on trying to take down an enemy tank. You get that adrenaline. I've got to kill this guy. He has lower HP. I have higher HP. I got a good shot on him.
Yeah.
But if yourself and 2 other guys are focused on that tank and there's only 4 of you left, that's only one opponent. You got whoever's left on the opposite side, and that's I think that's where they kind of lost the focus there, as SBP was able to score that win.
I think earlier when we saw that engagement where that tank ran over the house and they were getting into a fight, that one tank just started hauling ass out of there instead of retreating. Maybe he was just trying to distract him so his teammates can capture the location. Instead of sometimes killing your opponent, sometimes it's better just to stay alive and be a decoy.
It's very true. Important thing is to win the war.
Right, any way possible. Sometimes you just have to run.
Yeah. It looks like we're getting final confirmation between the teammates here. Making sure the tank selection is correct. A lot of people when they first start out playing World of Tanks, your tank selection is very limited for most people that start the game.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people, the first tank that they play are light tanks. And when you take that first shot from either artillery or from a heavy tank, it hurts.
It hurts
a lot.
Yeah, you feel it.
Your track shuts down. You're like, I can't even move. My gun doesn't do that much damage. What am I aiming at? The learning curve is pretty high on World of Tanks.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes it a really compelling game, is because there's so much information. There's so much things to learn right at the beginning to actually get good at it that it feels like a challenge.
Yeah, it's a very deep game. Obviously, having 4 different classes you can pick from. And amongst all those classes, there's up to like 10 tanks. So there's so many variety of different tanks you can choose from. So looks like we're going live here on our second map.
This is Himseldorf. This is actually the map that was voted the #1 map on the U.S. site for World of Tanks. Now, artillery does not like this map because there are so many buildings here. You do have an open kind of courtyard in the center. You do have the railroad tracks over to the west and a little bit of a town center over to the east, but this is not a favored map for artillery. And as we see here, the German team, Odem Mortis, moving more to the east side, staying in the up east corner. While one light tank is going to circle around at the railroad tracks here. Incurably moving up the hill a little bit slow here. Buzzer Pet taking refuge behind the concrete blown out wall of that building. And here's
the heavy tank
convoy
taking the first line here, and the smaller tanks just kind of creeping up behind, using him as a shield. And it looks like the other members are there just holding their position.
And if you see the actual positioning of these tanks, it's in a 3-lane separated lane push, and this allows them to get a clear shot if there's any crosses or any enemy tank pops up in front of them. They don't shoot each other. It's really important not to have friendly fire occur in any kind of game, but especially World of Tanks. They do spot one tank at the top of the hill here. Ambulance incurably, and Runes are going to move up to the top. Runes taking the rear. Going to swing around, making sure he keeps cover to his right in case there's any more tanks on that side that could target him. Ambulance up front here, trying to get the scout. Has the light tank. He moves out slightly, trying to get past the cover, crossing over to his left. Will take some cover from one of the buildings up in front of him. He does not see the enemy tank that was there earlier. Now they're waiting for him to assess the information. He sees a 2 and the 3. He takes way too many shots. He is down.
Just crept out a little too far. He exposed his tank there, just half a tank much, and there's 2 tanks already there waiting for him. So perhaps a little bit too ambitious there with the scouting effort.
Right idea, but just poked out a little bit too far. Now Runes and the rest of his teammates moving up to the right side of this hill-type area. Going to try to get some shots down below if they can, but mainly try to reinforce their 2 teammates on the bottom. Incurably up top along with Runes. Well, we have Pet, Fapsy, and their other teammate moving to that side. Buzzer Pet and Fapsy moving to the left, trying to get a shot on one of them. Takes a shot, misses. Pet, however, gets shot, but he does land a shot against his opponent. 2 tanks moving down the street. And now we're back to Runes and Incurably up top.
And if you notice, anytime you're watching this, their teammates are always grouped up together so they can peek out together. One peeks out, one shoots, the other guy peeks out and shoots. So the reload time, there's a constant rate of fire amongst the enemy. It looks like we've got a big engagement here, a 3-on-3. Germany here, they're holding position while Poland's going to be the aggressor.
They're trying to focus on one of the tanks here. However, the backup of their teammates moving around the cover, trying to get shots as well, while their 1 teammates up front are moving back. However, Incurably and Runes trying to get the flank. They got Para down. He goes down. They're going to try to focus on Capo. Capo taking a little bit of damage here. There was a bit of a ricochet on one of the shots. Runts and Incurably are going to get Capo as well. Capo's going to try to escape to the other side of the building. Will Incurably get the shot he needs? He's moving for it.
Oh, and he runs into 2 more German players. He does pick up one, but he's going to be shut down right after there. But
right idea, but he got met by his enemy. Forced fight right in the middle here, waiting for the shot. He's going to get it. Misses.
And he's going to get that ram damage kill there. Running into a tank does do damage.
Ram damage kill is all he needed. He barely had any HP left alive. 1 light tank for the German team. Still alive here. Odem Mortis needs to come back. They are down 1 game. Incurably moving down the center here. He knows there's an enemy behind him. He's trying to find an opening. Maybe he doesn't know. No, he gets around. He sees the enemy light tank in his area trying to get capped. Wow! Takes him down with 1 shot.
Nice shot.
Turns around. He sees the enemy tank behind him. Taking way too much damage here, though. Takes down another tank right in front of him. Can he get 3? Can he get 3? No! But Runts moves around to the left side of the building. He's got more HP than his opponent, and he gets the kill as Buzzer Pet moves in to reinforce.
There's a valiant effort there. Just too many tanks alive. He had no backup there.
Very nice engagement from these 2 teams, moving back and forth. And like you said, Rambo, positioning yourselves to spread out the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Yeah, Germany there, they looked really solid. We just saw straight up from the beginning of the round, they're always together. They looked like they were on the same page. They were peeking the corners together. They're always half a tank, 1 tank away from each other, so they're always able to back each other up and engaging with higher number situations.
That light tank right at the beginning had no chance. But even with the sacrifice of that tank, they know there's 3 tanks down that alley, and they can plan accordingly. And you fulfill your role as a light tank here. And sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Mm-hmm.
But very nice execution at the end there to stop the enemy, their own base from being captured.
And Team Poland there just kind of, it's tied up now 1-1. And Poland now just trying to figure out what to do now. They just got beat there in convincing fashion.
The next map on the list that we have is going to be, let's see, it's either Prokhorovka or Ruinberg. Prokhorovka. Got to say kind of with a Russian accent. Doesn't sound right.
So it's going to go to a 3rd map here. Whoever takes this will win the first match here in the group play. So it all comes down to this 3rd map here.
This is going to be Ruinberg. Countryside to the east, as you see on the map. City to the west. 4 main roads that converge onto a town center on the far west side. Having control or sightlines on those different roads is important as light tanks. Artillery kind of favoring either being out in the countryside or putting spots on the countryside.
Yeah, more wide open areas. That's where the artillery excels. The heavier tanks more in the close range building area.
Yeah, artillery favoring it. Them having cover themselves is okay, but if they have to move very far to actually get in that protective cover, it kind of disintegrates their purpose. I mean, they want to try to, even if they can't get kills, they want to limit where their opponents can actually move out in safety.
Yeah, having map control is absolutely crucial.
Exactly.
And this map, it's interesting because, like you mentioned, half of it's open, half of it's cityscape. So depending on your tank compilation, you can choose to either focus on the outside area or perhaps the city area and take control of that area and then work your way to the other side of the map.
And the light tanks and medium tanks as well, if they're able to spot artillery, take them out as soon as possible. So if artillery's on their own, they're like, guys, I got a light tank movement, and then they're dead. You lose that backup artillery. You use that fire from the sky. Well, as both these teams now know what's on the line. So best of 3 in the group stages. And this is the rubber match. This will determine who's going to win this series, get the points, and move farther on into the round-robin group stage. Referee confirming with the different team members here. Hopefully there's not any sound issues.
And usually in team-based games, the captain usually sits in the middle. So the referees, that's why he's in the middle. And those two in the middle are probably a captain and a co-captain, and they're talking to each other about what kind of strategy they want to run, and then they'll spread that amongst their team, you know, who's going to pick what class, what role is going to be there. So
Odem Mortis, a strong German team. I've actually seen, when it comes to content on YouTube, seen some good interviews with them, representing the world of Tanks, doing very, very well in some other tournaments. You know, the people behind World of Tanks, Wargaming, definitely want to see this game succeed as an esport. And I'm sure they're very excited, along with a lot of the fans of World of Tanks, to see this level of competition, the best of the best in the world, to compete here in China.
Yeah, it's a great venue here to exhibit their game to the world about, you know, what they're about. World of Tanks. I love the physics. I love everything about it, just because it, you know, replicates like real-time tanks that have been actually in battles before, you know, across the world. So, and also the physics is right on. You know, the side and the rear takes more damage.
You shoot a track, the track will stop.
Right.
If it takes enough damage.
The tank can be on fire, and on different kind of inventory items you can have. You know, like the health regen, the fire extinguisher. So the tank, this game, it seems very promising.
It does indeed. It does add a different kind of battle arena. A 7-on-7 matchup with maps that are not too big, not too small. I look forward to watch the esports growth of this title. I'm excited to be casting it here with you, Rambo. With 5 seconds left on the map, it is tied 1-1 between Odem Mortis and SBP Zawisza. And we're following Butcher right now from the Polish team, Zawisza, along with Hendricks, Flex, Crazy Catch. Exciting thing about casting for World of Tanks is to learn more of these teams and the individuals behind these teams, because this game is not as well established as other games that have been around in esports. A lot of personalities and teams are starting to blossom, starting to come out, and us getting to see the different play style and personalities of these different teams and members as they represent their different countries is pretty exciting.
Yeah, as the tournament continues on, we'll figure out who the superstars are, who are the impact players, the impact teams that are being forced to reckon with, and then the future upcoming World of Tank events.
Now the green team, Zawisza, moving towards the east of the map, going down the road in the country area. Henzik, taking some fire from Odem Mortis. Takes another shot. He's at less than half HP here.
He's holding his ground now.
He's holding his ground, but he is targeted.
He's all by himself,
going to go down,
too.
and he goes down. First blood.
And unfortunately, I don't think he did too much damage. So it was
he was taking way too much fire from the enemy tanks there. He had at least 2 to 3 on him.
Following here, trying to answer back. Coming out with the flank, and they've got Germany here caught in the open.
The German tank that moved to block his friend. Perfect movement to block that shot here. They're trying to get the kill on the tank that has the least amount of HP, but they're not going to be able to handle it. Andrew and Crazy Catch getting different positions on the map. Butcher long shot firing, trying to get a good shot on the tank with only 4 hit points left. The other one, 90. Polish team doing some serious damage. They want revenge for the death of Henzik.
Seems like Poland now, they're going to relocate their attack and their ambush. They did some decent amount of damage, but now their position has been found out, so they're going to move as a unit and possibly try to catch Germany off guard.
Also noticing that the German team pushing through the middle of the map here, more towards the city side, the western side, and eventually into their base to start capturing. And that can be dangerous for the Polish team here, as they are pretty far from their base. However, marking on the map where they need reinforcements, where they should move. Flex taking cover behind the tree line and the building here. A nice diagonal shot. Try to find out what is happening in this area, especially where one of his buddies was killed. Where there's wreckage, there's probably an enemy. Capo moving a little bit farther past the buildings and the tree line here.
Anytime you're going to sit around like this and kind of figure out what the enemy's doing, it's always smart to do what Capo's doing. Just sit in a bush, find shrubbery, find any kind of cover you can, especially some kind of building. So if you ever get caught off guard, caught in the side or something, you can always quickly retreat back and take cover.
Still staying on Capo here. I wonder what kind of movement the German team has. Odem Mortis still is in the lead with one of the enemy tanks, the Polish tanks. Hensig is down. However, at least two of the German tanks are super low. However, marking on the map, they needed some attention to E7, F7, F6. The midsection of the map here, or the main road in the middle, connects to the countryside. Parafian still kind of moving back and forth, now following Andrew. Staying behind the bushes, like you said, Rambo. If you're going to stay in a spot, stay in cover. No reason to get targeted. Butcher moving down to the very, very, very southern east part of the map here. Trying to see if anything pokes out for him to hit. But no dice yet for Butcher.
So right now, both teams are in a standoff right now. They're kind of afraid to make a move. You know, sometimes when you're the aggressor, the defender will be there in position waiting for you. So, like you mentioned, this is the rubber match. So whoever loses this will get a loss in their round robin. So both teams really hesitant right now. They know what's on the line and just playing really passive and hoping that the other team makes a mistake.
5 minutes, 16 seconds left on the clock. The clock is ticking. There is a time limit in this match. They cannot wait forever. You either have to kill your opponents or capture their base. Flex moving down to reinforce Butcher at the south here. Butcher probably saying, hey, guys, I don't see much. They have to be more over to the city side. See if anything pops out here for me to get a shot. Flex like, all right, dude, got you back. But let's go back because nothing is happening on this side. Now one of the Polish players is moving to the east. To scout as much as he can, but for the most part, they are on the west side. Camera has not switched over to the German side yet to reveal where they're at, but they're probably, just like the Polish team is doing, get a good shot. Here now following Andrew, the light tank more towards the east side, the city side, scouting in between the different buildings area here, moving in between the different roads.
In Poland here, they're going to be forced to make a move. They're down a tank. If it comes down to the time limit expiring, whoever has the most tier points will win.
Andrew is down. Great shot.
Excellent shot there, a long-distance snipe. And now Poland, their back's against the wall. It's 5-on-7. They have to make a move here. They got to capture, eliminate the other tanks.
They have an idea of where they're at based on the last communication they received from their teammate. And now they're going to move accordingly. Now they're going to have a dual push here. One from the north, moving to the center of the map, the other from the south. I'm going to try to pin their opponent here. You all don't want to go down the same road. You want to try to get a flank on your opponent. Butcher taking the lead, moving across this road. It's a little bit dangerous moving that far out when you don't know exactly what's on the other side of that road. But now Flex taking the point here, seeing his two teammates up in front. No, it's, if anybody's going to take shots, it's them if an enemy is farther ahead. Now they're going to probably converge in this point and move farther east. Or they might just focus on getting the enemy position here, taking their base. That'd probably be the best move, making the enemy themselves pop out. But now the radio communication is down. They see on the map where at least two of the enemy tanks are.
Yeah, they're running out of time here. Less than 3 minutes. Poland has to make a move. Sometimes, you know, they have to make a move, but they can't throw the match away. They've got to do it smart. They've got to advance together. They can't run out one by one. But Team Germany, they know this. They know that they're up. They don't need to make any moves. They can play passive and force the Poland team to try to capture the flag or chase them down.
They're getting in different positions here. Capo with the eyes on the enemy area here. He's just staying just outside of cover. for the right. Well, he actually is covered moving down to the northern area here. Raf Para Fianen. His full name, Para Fianen. I'm just going to name him Para. Do the same thing here, trying to see if anybody is going to poke out as they get closer to trying to capture the enemy base. 2 minutes left on the clock. They're going to have to make a move here quickly. And Capo is making the move. He is moving out to the road. He does see one of the enemy tanks. He tries to get a shot off. He takes a shot himself. He does have slightly more HP than the enemy here. He is not able to get a good shot because he's behind cover. He takes another shot, losing 435 HP. He's going to try to storm this tank right in front of him. He gets a shot off. He turns his tank to try to get behind the cover here. Butcher moving from the other side. He goes down.
Minute 30 left. It's a 5-on-4 situation here. Poland are backs against the wall. They lose another. They do exchange here, so it looks like Germany here, they've got the upper hand if they can just stay alive or hold off that position for another 15 seconds.
Para moves in, misses the shot. Misses that shot. He's taking way too much damage here, and he's going to get hit again. He's got one shot left. He hits it, doesn't do enough damage to kill his opponent. His other opponent from behind gets the flank. And there is your victor, ladies and gentlemen, Odem Mortis.
Yeah, and Odem Mortis taking that map easily. 6-on-1. They're able to take out those light tanks easily in the beginning, forcing Poland on a 5-on-7 situation. And then Odem Mortis, they just stayed composed. They knew they had the lead. They didn't have to force anything, and they put Poland in a really bad position there. So well played there by Odem Mortis.
And now it seemed that the Polish light tanks were trying to see, are they going to push our base? Are they going to push our base? Are they going to push our base? And once Andrew went from the northern section to the middle of the map, once he was killed, they knew, oh no, they're not pushing our base. They're not what we thought they were going to be. They're staying close to their enemy base. And it actually kind of forced the engagement to happen on their territory in the city where they already had good positioning, are able to flank their opponent and clean up the rest. Very patient play style, very smart play style. Sometimes you think we got a tank kill, we're in the lead, let's push. No, let's take a step back, let's plan this accordingly. Odem Mortis is able to do that. As they celebrate here, shaking each other's hands, I'm sure they're excited to be on the stage and have people cheering for them. It's exciting, man. I'm excited to have the finals here in about 3 days from now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what these teams have been practicing and playing for ever since the game came out.
We'll cast it,
exactly.
Today, yeah.
There's a lot on line. Like you mentioned, the first prize is $28,000, $14,000 for second, and $7,000 for third. So not only is there a lot of money on the line, also the prestige factor. Obviously, this being like the Olympic style of video gaming, it only happens once a year. Only the best teams get to represent their country, and then all these teams fighting for a gold medal. And Germany off to a strong start.
SBP Zawisza is not out of it yet. They did not win this match in the group stage, but they still could come back. And next up, guys, is going to be Warcraft 3 on Clutch. With me was Rambo. This has been World of Tanks. We'll come back with some more World of Tanks later on in the weekend. This is the World Cyber Games. Wuhan, China, the Grand Finals 2012.